Hey everyone, let's dive into the super cool story of China, a story that's been unfolding for thousands of years. It's full of amazing empires, awesome inventions, and big ideas. Our adventure starts way back in time, around the Yellow River, the birthplace of Chinese civilization. We're going back to the Shang dynasty, which existed from about 1600 to 1046 BCE. From way back then, we have these pieces of bone called oracle bones. They have the oldest writing we know of from China. These bones were used for fortune-telling, and they give us a peek into the lives of the Shang kings, their rituals, and how they ruled. But the Shang dynasty wasn't just about fortune-telling. They were also amazing at making things out of bronze. Skilled workers made beautiful vessels with super detailed designs. No one else in the ancient world was this good at working with metal. These bronze vessels were used in ceremonies and showed how powerful someone was. They show us how artistic and skilled the Shang people were. The whispers from these oracle bones and the strength of these bronze pieces help us understand this super important part of China's history. Let's travel further into China's past and explore the Zhou dynasty, from about 1046 to 256 BCE. This time brought some really important changes in how people thought about government and life. The Zhou dynasty came up with this idea called the Mandate of Heaven. It meant that a ruler was chosen by the gods, but if they were a bad ruler, the gods could take their power away. This idea shaped how Chinese rulers thought about power for a long time. During the Zhou dynasty, two really important ways of thinking emerged: Confucianism and Taoism. Confucius was a wise teacher who believed in being good, getting along with others, and respecting those in charge. His teachings were written down in a book called the Analects, and it became a really important book in China. Then there was Lao Tzu, who started Taoism. He believed in living simply and in harmony with nature, which he called the Tao. Taoism is all about being humble and keeping things balanced. These two different ways of thinking existed together and shaped Chinese culture for centuries. The Zhou dynasty lasted a long time, but it wasn't always peaceful. As it got weaker, a time called the Warring States period began. From 475 to 221 BCE, different states fought each other to become the most powerful. During this chaotic time, a new power arose in the west, the Qin state. Led by the powerful King Zheng, the Qin state conquered other states and united all of China in 221 BCE. King Zheng gave himself a new name, Qin Shi Huang, which means First Emperor of Qin. He created a system of government that later dynasties copied. He made sure everyone used the same weights and measures, the same money, and even the same writing system. He united all the different parts of China, but Qin Shi Huang is probably most famous for some huge building projects, especially the Great Wall of China. It was built to protect China from invaders, and it shows just how powerful and organized Qin Shi Huang was. Another amazing thing he built was his own tomb, guarded by an army made of terracotta, a type of clay. Discovered in 1974, the terracotta army has thousands of life-size soldiers, each one unique, with its own weapons. It's an incredible example of the Qin dynasty's military power and artistic skill. Qin Shi Huang was a powerful but harsh ruler, but he's remembered for uniting China and creating a strong government. The Great Wall and the terracotta army are amazing reminders of his power and the greatness of ancient China. After the pretty short Qin dynasty, the Han dynasty began. This was a golden age for China that lasted over 400 years, from 206 BCE to 220 CE. It was a time of peace, wealth, and amazing art and culture. The Han dynasty is split into two parts: the Western Han, 206 BCE 9 CE, and the Eastern Han, 220 CE. It was a time of great peace and prosperity. The Han emperors learned from the Qin dynasty's mistakes. They had a strong central government but also gave some power to local leaders. The Han dynasty also expanded, spreading Chinese influence all the way to Central Asia, creating trade routes that would become the famous Silk Road. These routes allowed for the exchange of goods, ideas, and culture between China and the West, changing both regions forever. The Han dynasty also invented paper, which changed how people communicated and wrote things down, not just in China, but all over the world. The Han dynasty chose Confucianism as its official way of thinking, which helped unite the country and keep things stable. Confucianism teaches about respecting your family, elders, and education. The Han Dynasty also started a system where people could take tests to get government jobs, no matter what family they came from. This system would become a really important part of Chinese government for a long time.